Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be taking a look at another collaboration between Wargames Atlantic and Foot Miniatures and Games. This time around it's for their Baron Wars and it is the Mounted Foot Serjeants box. Sculpted by Rob McFarland based on Paul Hicks' designs for footsore for the Baron's Wars, so these are compatible with the metal range that they have. Here we get a bit of a brief description about the Mounted Serjeants and their role. It's important to remember, while all knights were mounted sergeants, not all mounted sergeants are knights. Box allows you to make 12 with a variety of weapons, including sword, axe, spear, falchion, and a couple of different shield sizes. Okay then, sprue-wise, there are 3 types of sprue in the box. We get 2 sets of the Wargames Atlantic pill bases, double-sided with holes for 3mm by 1mm magnets, so you can friction fit those if you magnetize your bases or your movement trays. Then we get 4 of these light horse frames. There are 3 bodies. They are numbered appropriately, so you've got R1, L1, so left and right side for the first horse. You can mix these sides a fair bit actually. Just dry fit them before you do so to double check, but I didn't see any major issues whenever I've played around with them in the past. We've got 4 tails and 4 horse heads as well. You can see the lower jaw is missing because it's attached to the reins on the top, which is a neat little design that allows to have open reins on the horses themselves. So that's your standard fare, and then the unique to this box, 4 frames of mounted sergeants, 3 bodies per, 1 in gamby with a chainmail coif and the other 2 are just in chain. And then there are a variety of options, so let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so along the top then we have our first set of heads. We have 10 in a variety of styles, shall we say. So we've got a conical helm, very early Crusade / late Norman feel. We've got the flatter kettle helms, some with a bit more detail than others, some wearing a mail coif around the head as well. Which is obviously replicated on the shoulders. Set of axes, swords and maces before we get into the spear / lance. And in most cases there are an upright and a sort of couched charging for each. So here we have the gambeson under the arm, ready to strike, and then alongside as if running. We also have the arms, so you get actually several different arms, even though you've only got 1 body that has the gamby on it. There are slight differences, I imagine, in the positioning of those arms to allow you to have a bit of posability when you build it. And then the other half of the frame has our 3 mounted sergeant bodies, say 1 just in the quilted, and then the other 2 with surcoats over the top of mail. A few more bits of weaponry, some bare heads, and then towards the bottom we have scabbarded falchions and swords, and then also our 3 saddles. Bump, bump, bump. And this is set in such a way that you have a raised seat at the back and then a lower pommel at the front to give them some stability, and they fit into these notched gaps between their legs. So an interesting way of doing the saddles, relying on the fact that there is already a saddle on the horse itself, so they just need the front and back of it. Our heater shields, 3 large, 3 small, all have straps on the reverse, which allow you to actually fitted onto the arm remarkably well. It gives you a bit of grip there, as well as obviously having a bit of detail for people who may want to look for it. Overall, it's a really nice sprue. Not much in the way of build to worry about. I have noticed there's slightly more flashing on some of the sprues than on others, and on around the helmets as well. I've noticed a bit of flashing on the figures, but it's very thin, so a quick clean up with a knife won't cause much trouble. Build wise then, like I say, relatively easy to do. Here we have 3 of said mounted sergeants ready to take to the field. As you can see, because of that design, the reins are actually separate from the horse, which is a really nice way of doing it. You will have to make sure you seat your mounted sergeant correctly. They have it's easier to seat them slightly further back, in which case the rear of the saddle overhangs the sort of leather part there, which wouldn't really make much sense. So it is worthwhile giving them a wee push forward. But otherwise, nothing major with the build itself. They all went together in very quick fashion. And they've got a terrific amount of detail on them if you do fancy doing any sort of the Crusades periods, Barons' War, Barons' Crusades, that sort of thing. You have enough head options in there. And size-wise, if you're wondering, we are approximately 40mm to eye level for the rider, and then round about 25mm to the haunch of the horse at the rear, and about 35 to the horse's eye level. So should match in with a range of figures from a range of companies if you have other stuff for your medieval period. And with the options available for the horse build, you should have plenty that you can do to differentiate the unit somewhat. Like I say, most of it was spot on. I think there was a slight mismold on one of the helms. Yeah, this one, I don't know if you can't see that maybe. Just here along the front, that's a bit flatter there. I've not seen it on the other kettle helms, so it's possible you may get a slight miscast on that, which you can either round out with a file, or there are plenty of other heads on the sprues. So if you are looking to use that kettle helm, just make sure that you use one that is appropriate without any issues. But there you go, folks. And there we have it. Delightful set of figures. Really nice if you're looking to put together a force for the Barons' War, or anything from the 12th, 13th centuries. You know, there's a lot of conflicts to be had in there, and the arms and armament didn't really change much across Europe. So whether you happen to be playing Scots against the English or the French against the Germans, you can get away with a multitude of sins here. So you can really let this box do an awful lot of work. And if you fancy playing fantasy as well, they make very good sort of mounted foot sergeants, squires, that sort of thing for your forces. So if you're a Bretonian fan and you're after some mounted squires, this is a great way of picking up a nice plastic set of them. But let me know what you think below, folks. Until next time, bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.